Don's here. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, listen, I'll take that W in it. I'll take that W. I can't lie because it wasn't an amazing performance in all honesty, Terry. I think there was a lot of players today that weren't at the level that we've seen in the past few games. I think in that first half we kept breaking down our attacks, man. Every time we'd get on the ball, I'm seeing Jackson just constantly on the ball, just kept losing it. You know what I'm saying? Kept losing it. Caicedo as well. He wasn't that good on the ball today in that first half, in all honesty. Palmer, listen, he found a little bit of brilliance in that pass straight to Mudryk. And those are the sort of passes that you want for the Mudryks and the Maduekis, where it's very, very hard for them to miss. It was a perfect pass. Mudryk killed it on that first touch, obviously to bury it in the bottom bins there. Perfect finish. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, Forest, they weren't giving up, bro. They weren't giving up. And I did say before the game, Terry, I told you, I said it's not going to be an easy game playing against Forest because these lot are fighting for their life. They weren't letting us get comfortable. But how I was looking at it, I was thinking, the dynamic building up from the back ain't great at the minute. And for me, Chalobah was affecting that quite a bit because the first few seconds I realized when he was getting on the ball, he wasn't comfortable. Like he had Hudson-Odoi pressing him and he just kept losing it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was saying, listen, we need to get Gusto on as soon as possible, to actually help change the dynamic in the team and help us attack a little bit better. Second half, the changes that he made, they were good, bro. He made them quite early. He brought in Nkuku, he brought in Gusto. And straight away, you saw on that right-hand side was building up quite nicely and again was attacking quite a bit there when Jackson moved to the right-hand side as well. You know what I mean? But listen, that goal from Hudson-Odoi, man, that's what keeps happening to us at the minute, Andrew. Like we've got Havertz coming back now and scoring against us. Hudson-Odoi, he warned us just before that, Terry, don't let me cut in onto my right-hand side, like on my right foot. He used to score goals like that in the academy all the time. Do you know what I mean? So that's his bag. But we invited him to finish like that, bro. And for me, I'm looking at him thinking, come on, man, we can't go out like this. We can't go out like this. But we'll find a little bit of quality with Sterling. Nice finish. Mentality there. He brought in Sterling. Obviously took off Mudryk. Nice finish from Sterling because he's actually scored a couple goals like that this year, to be fair. And he scored a couple goals like that for City as well. So that was a good finish from him. And then Reece James, bro. Reece James on for what? How long was he on for? 10 minutes or something like that? And this is what this guy can bring to the team, I wouldn't say that we've missed Reece James because Gusto. I wouldn't say that we've missed Reece James because Gusto's been stepping up for us. Whilst he hasn't been there, but there's certain parts in the game like Gusto where he will get the ball and he could just whip it, but he hesitates too much. But one thing that Reece James does, he will just see the pass and he will play it one time. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was a good chance for Jackson there to finish on his head because we all know Jackson's not good with his head. So I'll take those points in it. I think overall we could have played better, but those subs definitely helped change the game because again, in that first half, we was lacking a lot of quality in that final third, man. A lot of quality. The second half did really well, man.
This is just showing though that like the issue wasn't Poch. Like yes, he has problems, but overall the issue wasn't. It hasn't been Poch. It's never been Poch. You know what I mean? The players have let him down massively. So many games have we said that he coached a 4-0 win and those guys didn't freaking score. And then you got the guys in between.
It's never been Poch, KJ. Come on now.
No. I said it's not been the sole problem. He's never been the sole problem.
No one said he has. He's part of the problem.
No, I'm just saying loads of Chelsea fans.
You speak like he's the sole problem, though.
And people speak like he's the sole problem. And this is the thing. You guys from preseasons to show that you can play good football. You got loads of injuries in the season. And your ownership have been doing foolishness, which again the Chelsea fans don't really chat about. Besides a certain sect of your fan base, there's one sect of your fan base that's all they talk about, right? But the majority of the fan base don't talk about Clay Lake, don't talk about Bowley, don't talk about how you've got your directors picking these players and had the wrong recruitment plan. And I think literally next season Chelsea must stick with him because think about this, yeah. You guys have had 4 managers in 2 years. That's insane. You had 4 managers in 2 years. How can any of these young players that they've bought find any form or consistency when literally it's chopping and changing? Yeah, people can say, oh, yeah, man, you chop and change. But we at least give managers 2 years. We've given every manager since Moyes 2 years to prove themselves.
But KJ. But the thing is, KJ.
You gave Tuchel a few months. Granted, that's not the guy they wanted. So I can understand him going in terms of the ownership point of view. They want their own guy. They said their guy was Potter. They gave him a couple of months, gone. Gave it to Lampard to try and rectify his season somehow. Not failed, typically. Now they got Poch, and Todd Bowley's coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, this is the kind of football we want to play. Their plans coming together." But yet then they're looking to sack him, or fans want him sacked. It doesn't make sense.
But fans don't run the football.
It does make sense, bro, because it's not like people are saying get Poch out. It does make sense though, KJ, because it's not like Poch has been playing like this all season and then people have an agenda to get him out, because people like me wanted this guy for the young players. You know what I'm saying? I wanted Poch to do well, and I'm glad that he's found a way to, you know, hopefully finish the season off well and hopefully get us into Europe. But like I said, start of the season, what he was doing at the beginning, bro, was digging his own grave, and this is clear proof, because when he went back to what was working in pre-season, when he went back to what we were seeing, when he went back to what Terry and everyone else, most rivals were saying Chelsea looked like they're going to cook. Look what's happening. We're playing better. Like even today, we weren't amazing, but how we're set up allowed us to actually. Hold on, KJ. What I'm saying is how we're set up has allowed us today to actually find the win. And again, the in-game management has been good. The things that I've been criticizing him about, he's been able to show me today that he can actually, you know, do that, you know. But the thing is, obviously, like for me, I can't ignore how many injuries the guy's had. That's why it's taken long for me to say like, 3 strikes for Poch, because I was feeling a little bit. I had to be a little bit lenient because we had a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that you should be playing multiple people out of position.
Most of them.
But that doesn't mean that you should be playing multiple people out of position. The last time we played Forest at home, bro, we started that game with 2 attackers. You know what I'm saying in that game? And I'm looking at it thinking, why are you playing Ben Chilwell left wing? You know, but I don't want to. Today's not even about to slander Poch, because end of the day, he has been doing things incorrectly week after week from the beginning of the season, bro. Where I'm looking at him thinking, yo, a manager of your experience should know better. You know, so now he's showing us that he can actually be a little bit competent, and I hope that carries on. You know what I'm saying?
I want to just a welcome to the show, mate. What you here to say, bro, as a Chelsea fan?
Yeah, I think a lot of the waffle I've heard today is because people don't understand what's going on with not only Chelsea, but in the Premier League as well. We're going to find out next month. Actually, excuse me, it's going to be a month after the season or closer by, that the whole system that everybody's been playing with under the last 10 years and that last decade is gone. The rules are going to change. So no team should be going out and dropping a whole crap ton of money on experienced players. Well, I don't even know what that means anymore, that want 350, 400K a week, because you have to fit them underneath a new cap structure coming in 25, 26. So you're telling me we should go out and expand our wage bill, which now stands at about 150 million pounds of the active players we have, not the ones on loan. If you sit there around 200 and above, and you can only spend 450, how are you going to make any transfers? Because your annuitized transfers go in that pot, and the agent's fees go in that pot. And as of right now, there are no offsets. So player sales don't even count. But I'm supposed to say, ownership, go out and screw the whole budget because a few fans that have never run a football team, not even played professional football, think we should go out and blow a ton of cash on experienced players who we just got rid of a whole bunch of experienced players. Name the experienced players that we got rid of that are having a great season. Please. You can't. This notion.
I mean, Koulibaly just won the Saudi league.
In Saudi. That's a real league now. That's a real league now.
Somebody. I give you one. You know
I understand that new caps and new rules are coming in. I mean, the problem that you have is that you can't. No club can just stand still for the next 2 years. But Chelsea's situation, as you'll know, Jester, is very different to other clubs because Man United and Man City, as an example, are currently below those new thresholds that are coming into place. So if we get rid of some big wages, which we're going to, Martial, Varane, Casemiro, we can go and do that. Chelsea's situation, if you look at the new UEFA rules of 70%, you're currently £152 million over that limit. So I understand where you're coming from when you say we can't just go out in the summer and spend 300 million and put them all on massive wages, because that potentially could cripple you in terms of FFP and profit and sustainability. So I think Chelsea's scenario is a little different to other members of the top 6. But I do get where you're coming from. But at the same time, are you just happy then for Chelsea to go out and keep buying youngsters that are on cheaper wages and wait for them to mature? Is that what you're saying?
But there's a whole new structure coming into place. Every club's going to have to do this, because if you have a cap, everybody can spend this amount of money, right?
Yes.
You have to start building a system to where you can get freebies, right? You can get cheap transfers from your feeder clubs that you don't have to pay.
So
you understand?
You're not talking about the new FFP that comes in next year. You're talking about the cap. I understand that.
Well,
I do understand.
That's 25-26. PRS comes in.
Yeah, well, the cap is that coming in. Obviously, UEFA's 70% rule, I think, comes into play next year, which is a different.
Well, I'm just talking about England right now, because
But we've got to look at both. If you're in Europe, you can't just focus on one. And I get you with the cap, but again, it's the cap is going to. I do get where you're coming from. So, what's your suggestion for the next 2 years then for Chelsea and other clubs when it comes to spending money?
Just start building. Like City has already a head start. RB Leipzig has a head start. They have feeder clubs. They bring in talent. You don't even know where this talent comes from. You don't hear about half of them.
You think
they're at
Chelsea,
Girona, they're here and there.
So you kind of feel like Chelsea is sort of a cooking in disguise a little bit, and it's going to all by sort of 25-26, we're going to see that everything that Clear Lake have been doing is going to pay dividends for Chelsea.
The thing is, yeah, I hear what Justice saying, but at the same time, you still need to focus on the now. Like, it's all good in principle, and when you're looking at it and thinking, yeah, this is what we could be, with Paez and Esteval in 2027, 2028. But listen, if you don't fix the now, by the time you get there, a lot of players might have left that are here already. Do you know what I'm saying? So we need to make sure that we do both. We need to have a good balance. They can't just be focusing on the future. You know what I'm saying? We need to make sure that we get a good balance. Like today was clear proof. The other week we had 14 injuries. We had to have a lot of youth team players. Poch struggled a little bit. Today it was easier for him to bring on Nkuku, bring on Gustos and that sort of quality. So they need to bring a balance of both, man.
Yeah, I get that. Just go on, KJ, and then I'll do the final super chat
about the multi-club thing as well. Like clubs have to be careful about this multi-club model that's starting to like become more popular. Obviously, Chelsea doing with the blue. I think theirs is called the Blue Co or the Blue Group, whatever they're called. You got the City Group, obviously. European clubs are not liking this. So a lot of teams in Europe do not like the fact that this is happening. You got all these different club models. RB obviously is the biggest, most famous one. All these models are coming into football, and I've seen reports saying that they are petitioning to get these things either stopped or limited or banned from happening because they feel like it's manipulating the sport and all of these things. So I think it's a good idea, and I think I have no personal issue with it. But if there's come a time where that becomes banned or limited or regulated, like most things do in football, you can't just rely on that being your sole source of growing.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from. This is as United fans defending Poch because of injuries, the owner's recruitment, and players letting him down, but not giving Ten Hag the same leeway.
Okay, so this is clearly at me, Colin. Fair enough. But here's the thing: Poch and Ten Hag's situations are two completely different ones. The only thing that they've got in common is injuries. Number one, this is Poch's first season in this mess of a club. Ten Hag has been here for 2. Poch has come with a clear system that he's been trying to implement. Ten Hag had one system and then completely changed it to another one for whatever reason, and it's failed. Okay, the recruitment. He was a part of the recruitment. He was the one that picked out most of the players that we've got. He fought for Mount. He fought for Anthony. He fought for Amrabat. He fought for Ericsson. Hoyland. All these signings that Ten Hag has got, most of them he's fought for. So you can't say he's...
Yeah, and if we were playing football that looked as nice as Chelsea's does right now, I don't think there'd be many people saying move him on. You can't dismiss the way the football is being played, Colin. But thank you for the super chat. People never read between the lines with young players these days. Jackson's raw at 22, but the upside is clear. A lot of disingenuous takes. 23 GA. Agreed. There's a player in there. Doesn't mean you shouldn't look for better, but there's certainly a player in there. This is a Winter Surfer. It says Tuchel had Chelsea in 6 finals. How was he overrated?
1-1.
How many finals did we win?
Well, to be fair, you lost on pens like quite a few times.
Okay. I
can remember some of them, man. Like when we played Leicester in the final,
he dropped
shocking, bro.
He dropped Mendy and put Kepa in goal, and they scored a long shot.
Surprise.
Here,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one's on him.